So it is the 6th of January now, and following on from the last video, I want to get this, I removed all the stuff around the cylinder head, and so now I want to take the head off. So I've taken the camshaft off, just lifted that off as a complete assembly, and I'll show you that. So this is the camshaft assembly. So the rockers and everything have all just come off as a single piece. I figured, well, I don't need to take this apart. It looks okay. There's no unnecessary play. I'll probably measure the wear on the cam lobes, but you know, it looks okay visually. I've left all the cam sprocket and all that stuff in place. So it just lifts out, and hopefully now I'm in a position to just I've unbolted the head, so I'm in a position just to hopefully just knock it free and see if it'll lift off. So now the head is off. Well, the cylinder head is off. So now what's interesting here is, well, firstly, taking it off, you look at the piston down in there. Look at that. It looks like there's been some damage. So the piston has whacked into the valves. And you can see there's a little bit of damage on the edge of that piston there, and you know, on this side it seems okay. So yeah, so interesting. So interestingly, if you look at the valves look, let's take this and have a look underneath. So the valves themselves look a bit coked on the top there, but that's fine. They can just be decoked. I don't see any evidence of damage on the valves themselves, just on the piston. I do see a little fragment of metal here. So yeah, we'll have the valves out and we'll clean all this up. But yeah, it's so now what I'm interested in is getting this getting the cylinder portion off and seeing what the state of the piston's like, because yeah, let's I'm just going to try and turn the engine over now and just see if that knocking, rattling thing is still there. So yeah, look at this metal piece that I've pulled out of the crankcase. This broken piece of metal in here inside the crankcase, so let's not make sure I want to remove that. Now look at the piston. The piston is absolutely destroyed. So look at that. Wow, what on earth caused that? Look at that. That is absolutely headed. That poor little piston. So yeah, look at that. The whole part of the piston where the oil rings have completely gone. Looks like, well, piston rings aren't even doing anything. Look at that damage there on the side. Look at that damage on, well, is that damage on that side there? No, I think that's, it looks a bit curved on this side, but I don't know if that's, maybe that's where it's slapped into the valve. But so it's possible that the valves inside that head are bent as well. So wow, what on earth could have caused that? Maybe just nailing it to the ground, going past the well, I'm not sure if these bikes have rev limiters on them, but maybe it was absolutely just hammered, just completely and utterly hammered. So gonna have a, oh, I might have to take this all apart, but so it looks like the engine might have to come out just so I can get a good idea of the crankshaft and all that. But at the moment it seems to be, there's no play. It doesn't feel like there's any play. So if I have a look at the con rod and just try and wiggle that around by itself, let's have a look. It's difficult trying to hold the camera and do this at the same time. But there's a little bit there. There's no up-down movement. It moves a little bit side to side, but I think that could be normal. So I'm inclined to think the bearing there is okay. But it's just the piston here is absolutely destroyed. So I can get the piston off. So it's obviously going to need a new piston. Obviously piston rings. And so let's have a look at the cylinder itself. So so here we have it. Yeah, so it looks, oh gosh, if this looks like it's damaged, yeah, I can feel, yeah, it looks like there's some pretty nasty scoring gone on here. So, yeah, I'm thinking a new top end really. Wow, that is incredible. Well, at least now we know, eh? It looks like some scoring on there. Just on this bit here. The old fingernail test. Yep, definitely can feel that. So, I think these components have had it. I think the top end is okay. Yeah. Oh well. Interesting. Right, a bit of, yeah, so I'm going to do some proper fingernail tests on here. I mean, it'd be nice if I could, I don't know, I have to look at the cost of getting this either rebored and go up a size on the piston, or we'll just get another one, which might be the cheaper option, because I think it'd be fairly cheap for this engine. But yeah, look at that, it's completely had it, so that's not going to be getting, well, it's going to be, not going to be getting any compression at all. It did feel like the compression was kind of hardly there when I was turning the engine over, but wow. So yeah, probably a new one of those, and certainly a new piston, and just hopefully not a new crank shaft as well. I can just separate it off from the con rod, and because I think the con rod and the connecting rod and the crank comes as a single unit once you separate the engine halves. So yeah, well, got to the bottom of that one then. So a bit more investigation, and see what we can do to get this repaired.